wonderful experience. What are you going to miss the most about the set?
Um, how close it was to my home.
Yes,
It
Culver
was
City.
it was I lived in Venice for the first 5 years of this, and I
Hi, Joe.
Hi, Dana.
Thank you so much for your time. A pleasure to see you again.
Yes, you too.
Yes, very excited about the series, this season 5. But you, the busiest guy on town, because you have a lot of going on.
Yeah,
Yes. So, Imperfect Woman, Detective Ho, but we're gonna be talking for all mankind.
yeah.
Amazing. What you can expect of Eddie Baldwin this time around?
Yeah, this is 80-year-old Ed, and we find out pretty soon that he's as grumpy as ever. Um, but he's also his own mortality is at the forefront of his mind, and it's definitely fueling some of his actions and risk taking, and yeah, this is the last few moments of Ed.
Yes, I know. How was that for you, like to wearing that makeup, those outfits, and how much time do you take to be ready to play the old
Yeah,
Ed?
so aging has been a big part of this journey for me, and from the beginning, from the outset, when I was approached about this project, that was one of the things that really excited me about this, that it was such an opportunity to get to explore aging in that way, that we jump 10 years every season. And season 4 and 5, that's really like come into forefront, and I feel in season 5 I really got to lean into actually like playing old, and I actually found it easier to play 80 than 70 for some reason. It was easier yeah. Uh, I made like I could make changes to every aspect of me with my voice, with you know, I found it easier to find the sort of the physical language of an 80-year-old than a 70-year-old. And but then just it, the thing that really like struck me, kind of took me by surprise, was how emotional it was for me to go through the ending for this character. I was so emotional. The last week of shooting I was just a mess. I was crying every day.
Oh man.
It was, and then they killed me with these flashback scenes where, Michael Dorman playing Gordo and Chantal Van Zanten who played my wife. These flashback scenes with them, and so many memories of us, and it was such an era of my life. We've been doing this since 2018, and it all came flooding back. But there's something else underneath that made it so emotional, because as actors we're used to this, creating these short-term families where we fall in love and then we say goodbye. We're used to that. This is what we do. I've been doing this for 25 years.
Yeah.
This was something completely different. I'm still trying to figure out what it was, but I think also that I was playing 82. My own father is 82, and then I'm doing these scenes where I'm saying goodbye to my children and my grandchildren, and you're just in that room, and it's sort of the inevitability of life became at the forefront of my mind, and yeah, it was very special.
Yeah, I asked the same question. I'm gonna ask a question that I asked for Cynthy as well. And then what was like the most reward part to be in this series?
I mean, I just felt an extreme gratitude to get to play around in this world, and let this imagined world be my playground, where I could it's like I got to live with this for all mankind filter on, and sort of imagine myself in these different ages, and to get to imagine the world in this way, and have these optimistic lenses on, this optimistic filter of the future. I think we need more stories that have this kind of optimism that I feel like our show carried, and the ethos of that I think is really beautiful and important. Where it's kind of easy, attention grabbing to just show these disaster outcomes, and it's something that's really important with leading by example in a way, and I think that you can do that with storytelling as well, and be aspirational.
Yeah,
Oh, I love that the show did that.
I did. Me too. I visited the set a couple of weeks ago, and then I love it. I love it. It was
Oh,
a wonderful experience. What are you gonna miss the most about the set?
um, how close it was to my home.
Yes,
It
Cooper
was
City.
I lived in Venice for the first 5 years of this, and I knew that I was like, oh, this is never gonna happen again in my life. It took me 10 minutes to drive to set. And usually when you do a project in my business, you have to get on a plane, and then sometimes you have to get on a second plane. And yeah, it was a dream.
Yeah, that's amazing. I know, like Eddie, I sometimes I think that he's immortal because he passed through a lot of stuff. At the same time, I think the character is like the luckiest man in on the planet, and I love that about him. And everybody's gonna be remember, like you're gonna be everybody's gonna be remember Ed all the way.
Yeah, I hope so. I will for sure. It is yeah, I love the show. I'm so happy that now I get to watch it as a fan. I told them to not send me any scripts. I don't want any links to the episodes. I'm just gonna watch it with everyone else. And after episode 3, I have no idea what's happening.
Okay,
So
I'm not
now
gonna
I
tell
get
you.
to just be a fan like everyone else.
Amazing,
Yeah.
amazing. Joe, this is the time that I have with you. I just want to thank you so much for your time. A lot of
No, thank
success
you.
always. Cannot wait to see in other different roles as well, and a lot of success. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anna. Nice talking
Bye
to you
bye.
again.
Nice.
If you like to support or continue to support Jana on Camera, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment and share the videos.